Welcome to F.A.C.E, Joe.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you. I appreciate you taking time out of your trading day. I assume you know how to use Zoom and you just share your
Yeah,
screen.
I wouldn't make that assumption.
Okay. Well, it's that green share button, and then you can share your screen. See it?
Uh,
Drop down menu. There you go. All right. So before we get started, Joe, I just want to ask you about your handle. Why did you select the pseudonym Joe Friday?
oh, well, that comes back to my prior career as a police officer in the New York City Police Department. So
Okay.
I was a detective, and so Joe Friday, as you know, famous detective from the LAPD. And I thought it was as good a handle as
Dragnet.
any. Dragnet,
Dragnet.
right?
Yeah,
We're dating ourselves now because
that's
not too many
okay.
people know about that.
That's okay. So, what about the 714? What's that about?
That's his badge number. That was Joe Friday's badge number.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, because they used to put that on Quaaludes. Anyway,
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
all right. Anyway, the people that don't remember Dragnet don't remember those either. So,
Yeah.
Joe, anyway, I appreciate you being here today. So, you already answered one of my questions. Did you have a long career as a police officer in New York City?
Yeah, I did 20 years.
Wow.
I got out right after a few months after 9/11. Unfortunately, I was there for that day.
Yeah.
And this is actually a third career, if you want to call it a career for me, because I was actually an attorney after I became after I retired from the police department. I had gone to law school at night, and then
Wow.
I went from the rubble of the World Trade Center to a nice shiny office on Madison Avenue. It was quite the culture shock. And then when I stopped practicing law, I'd say it's about maybe 6, 7 years ago, I started trading more
Okay.
full time. Had been doing it as a hobby more or less before then.
Okay. And let me ask you, just like, when you're in any career, you usually have a mentor or someone to show you the way. Did you have any mentors or any books that were a big influence on you so that you knew how to draw megaphone patterns like we're looking at right now?
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I'm basically self-taught. School of
Okay.
Hard Knocks. I read a
Know
lot of
that
books.
university, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
We were in the same frat house there, as
Yeah,
I
yeah, there you
remember.
go. There you go. But really, just do my own due diligence, so to speak. Looking at various videos, like everyone else. I read some books. I joined some services, which uh, I won't get into, but
Crummy.
they were, not all cracked what they were cracked up to be. And I wish I had someone like me, to be honest with you, around when I was learning the trade, because I'm sure, like many of your guests, they'll tell you the same story I had, is that you start off and
Yeah.
maybe you have like two good trades, you think you're nailing it, and the next thing you know, the bottom falls out and you blow up your account. And I blew up my account. Jesus, I got to be 3, 4 times. I'm stubborn that way.
Yeah,
So
understand it, been there. You did have major commodity exchanges that were still kind of active. You ever go to the floor and check things out? You probably were trading casually before you became a lawyer and, probably had a pension and had an interest in the market. You ever go down to NYSE or COMEX
no,
since you were there?
I used to work right around the corner from Wall Street. So I
Okay.
visited the floor and stuff, but really my interest started because the police department had a part of their pension was self-directed. So
Okay.
I was able to kind of manage my funds, and I had actually met an older guy who was on the job, and he was getting ready to get out, and he had been in this for a while, and he started telling me how he was basically switching in funds depending on what the market was doing, and he really caught my interest because he was really making very nice gains at that point. Because back then, if you were getting 5 or 6%, you're doing well, and he was doing like,
well, today too, with a 1% bond rate,
right,
5% is
well, that's
nice,
true.
right?
But back then,
Yeah,
it was, the bond rates were higher. But
yeah.
he did very well for himself, and he would, if the markets were up on, in the U.S., what he'd do at the end of the day, he'd close it out and go over to a Japanese fund and hope the Asian index would follow the U.S. and get out the next day. It was like brilliant.
Okay.
Until they stopped it, then they won't let you do it no more.
Yeah.
On.
Oh, yeah. I know some people that were doing that
Yeah,
mutual fund switch after you already knew what Europe was going to do the next
correct.
day or something like that.
Yeah.
Uh, let me ask you, as a trader, are there any similarities between what you learned in your prior two careers that really apply? I mean, as a police officer, risk management's about your personal safety. Um, did that at all come in where you kind of measure the risk and you have a strategy based upon what you learned early in your career as a law enforcement officer? Could you
Well,
apply anything to it?
well, I think if I can apply anything, it's going to be the ability to anticipate. And both as
Okay.
a cop and a lawyer, you train to anticipate. As a cop, what may happen when you arrive at a scene or an incident, and as a lawyer, you're anticipating what your opposing counsel is going to do next. And so that kind of transcended in trading for me, because part of what I try to teach the members of my blog is that, look, try to anticipate the market. If you wait for the reaction, you're already behind us. You're already behind it. So I always
Okay.
say, anticipate, not participate. And so that part, I think, if anything, is what helped me. Risk management, I think, is really very important. That's something that I wasn't, I want to say, gifted with that because
Yeah.
I'm more of a risk taker. So that did not bode well into my early days of trading. But I've learned my lesson. The market teaches you very well, and it does not spare the rod, so to speak. So.
Okay, so you're a believer in this pattern that you're showing us here, this megaphone formation that, if you were anticipating it, you would expect a decline to 0.6 down there, maybe sometime next year. What would change your mind? We had a megaphone formation going into 2018 where it blew above the top megaphone line.
Right.
And then got back inside of it after COVID. If you just made an adjustment with the line, you would see it had a throw over. What
Right.
would change your mind about this megaphone pattern?
Well, like all patterns, I think it's really just something that is potential. And what I try to teach everyone is to just take it level by level. So that's why you see all these different levels on this chart. The main level, obviously, is the green and the red bar there. Is that's the broken, that was resistance, then broken resistance became support,
Yeah.
and then again. So that is really the big support zone in my view. If that holds, then we probably could bounce from there and go higher. You could also see that right now, this is the weekly chart.
Right.
Price is just above my green moving average there. And so that is also going to act as support. But if that breaks at 3130 area, let's say, that would probably open the door to a test of the high
Okay.
2900,
What's the
3000.
period moving average on that, Joe?
Well, what I use, what I particularly use here, that is not even really a moving average. It is what they call well, I call the RSI moving average.
Oh,
And what that is if I take my, I think I have my
because
thing off. I'll show you one second. Yeah,
I've never heard of that before. People using RSI on a moving average basis. That's interesting.
yeah, it's called the reverse engineering RSI. Thinkorswim has it. Basically, what
Okay.
it is a 30 EMA, more or less. So
Okay.
not quite the same, but almost. So what that does is, I believe I'm a big believer in less is more on the charts.
Yeah.
So I don't like a lot of indicators. I don't like a lot of things on my chart. I like a clean price action as best as possible. And so now this helps me get rid of my RSI at the bottom, and I use a MACD actually, just for trend and for divergences. And then I have, you can see on the upper left, I have an RSI box that just tells me what it is. But basically what happens is, when my view is, when the price is above this RSI, you lean bullish. Doesn't mean you can't go up and down, but the trend is higher as long as the RSI is below price, and vice versa. Once it breaks below, that also makes it lean bearish.
Where's it coming in now under this weekly candle? The RSI dotted line.
Well, right now,
Ballpark.
it on the right-hand side, it's 3195, 3194.6. You see the green box over here.
Yeah, but what about like this last candle we're having? Where's the RSI coming in? Right underneath the last blue candle. I'm curious, price-wise. Keep going.
Oh, you mean here?
Yeah, right
Well,
underneath it. Yeah.
oh, well, the low was 3223, it looks like.
And the dot underneath it.
Well,
Right
that's what the
underneath
green
that
sign is,
candle.
3194.6. That's what
Oh,
it's
okay,
showing. Yeah, yeah.
3,200.
Right,
Okay, yeah.
that's showing you the last price, right?
Okay, that's an
So
important level for me.
right, but the
Interesting.
weekly isn't done yet, so this could
Right.
change. But yeah, but that's generally, and again, this is an area, as I tell everyone, there's no specific price level. It's just an area, so it could come shy, it could extend a little below it, but I use that generally as a guide. So, so if this,
Okay.
if it breaks below that RSI moving average, that's going to be a bearish sign, in my opinion. Probably open the door to a test of this support, and then what happens here will tell us what will happen next. And then I have this other ascending trend line here that could possibly form this could have been an underthrow, but right now it's just, I got it there in gray. So
Okay,
we'll see.
and all the different points you have with the 6 ahead, is it just you're numbering the different points? There's no type
Yeah,
of
it's just the
formation.
legs. No, right.
Okay,
It's just the legs. I think most of the time these megaphone patterns do about 5 touches, and then it'll break out or break down. So 6, if it breaks down, doesn't break above 5, and 6 is the target. And then you
okay.
see I have my 2016 gap fill down here, which it still remains open from 2016. So whether it
Where's
gets,
it?
I don't know.
What price level is that?
Right on the right here. See 1864.
18. Okay.
About
All right.
1865.
All right. Well, you would need one hell of a rally in the dollar for that to happen. Maybe new highs. And I actually saw a tweet you had yesterday with a box showing the DXY where you gave you gave the dollar the bias that we could probably come out of here for
Yeah,
another
I'll
high.
bring up the Dixie now. Is one of the things I was going to show you.
Yeah.
But let me show you the monthly first, because this is where it comes in. So I always do a top-down analysis when I'm trading. And
Okay.
here is the ABC pattern on the monthly Dixie. And right now you can see we've held this support pretty much. This seems to me to be a bullish underthrow at this point. If we get back above, and this is the monthly RSI moving average, you can see that at about 96.27. And it also coincides with that bottom rail of that channel. So if we get above there, I think it's a good shot. We're gonna see D. Now this could also just be a back test. So again,
Right.
take it level by level. If it fails here, and maybe we'll go lower. This whole pattern fails, and you kind of have a similar, although opposite view on the
Euro.
on the euro.
Yeah.
See, so same thing.
Yeah.
This we'll see what happens. So far, this has been rejected, but it could come back and try it again. But going back to the other chart that you were showing.
So the jury, a term the jury is still out.
The jury's still out, but again, we're taking it level by level. Right now, on the lower
Right.
time frame, right here's the 4-hour, and
Right.
you can see that we've broken out of this box now. This is a big, long consolidation. Actually, if you look at the daily chart.
Yeah, that was a 3 drive formation at the bottom.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
see that?
and you see the bullish divergence here. So this was expected. Now, will it get above 95 next? I don't know. We'll see. But I'm just taking it level by level. But right now, it seems to be breaking out. And if it continues, I think, in my opinion, it's going to put pressure on downward pressure on commodities and probably the indexes, except maybe the small caps.
Okay, very interesting. And anything else you wanted to share with us today?
Well, I have different charts. I can show you like a smaller time frame for ES. You can see here I have a possible ABC in progress here.
Okay.
And again, higher highs, higher lows. Again, RSI moving average is a 4-hour chart. We're at resistance. And what I try to do is look for confluences of
Yeah.
resistance and support. Yeah, you know the deal, right?
Yeah. So you're thinking we have a D, one more shot down, and then
Yep.
maybe a good rally here.
Correct.
After that.
If we're going to, if it's going to pull back here, this is the possible zones, PRZ, which is price reversal zone for D. And if we do break this this low here, then we should head a little lower. Usually 78 to 100 is what my view is on these leg Ds. And I'm suspecting, again, we're right at that 3200 area where.
So you use everything. The ABCD is like a harmonic pattern?
Yes, I'm not really an Elliott Wave fan. I think it's just too complex for me. It's too many rules.
Makes my head explode.
Yeah, and it keeps moving the goalpost. Makes me crazy. So I just use the ABCs. Either they work out or they don't. Pretty simple. And I try to use that in combination with support and resistance and any other confluence of indicators that I have. Again, divergences are big for me. I try to use them. They work about 85% of the time in my view. Very successful. You just got to have the patience. And also, waiting for the levels. Like, I'm not short here. I was short. I was actually stuck in the short for a long time. Just got out with a profit, and now I'm waiting. And if it gets down here, I'll go long. But I'm not sure I want to short this market just yet until it proves to me that it's going to go lower. And then if it gets into the zone, well, then I think you have a better risk reward for a long.
I like your work. I like your work, Joe.
Oh, thank you. I try to keep it, simple. Here's NQ, kind of similar view.
Yeah.
I have D here, but again, just support, and I also use supply and demand. I try to use, I try to use, a variety of things. It's not just one thing, but mostly it comes down to if I had to trade off anything, it's just going to be support and resistance. I mean, that's what it comes down to. So the patterns just help you identify potential setups and reversals.
Okay. Well, I follow you on Twitter, Joe, and your Twitter handle is at Joe Friday 714. Is there a hyphen between the 714? I don't remember. Or is it just at Joe Friday 714?
It's it's Joe Friday 714. I have if I go to my
and you have a group that you mentor, work with, kind of a community?
Yeah, I have JS Blog Squad, I call it. And basically it's a paid service, and I just share my trades. And if you like, I can show you a couple of trades results. I always tell everybody, the less indicators, the better, and the less people you follow, the better, because all you're going to get is a million
paralyzed.
A million opinions, and you really got to learn to rely on yourself and trust in your own ability. And once you can perfect,
I agree. So Ron Adler's given you testimonial saying it's a great service, and you know what happens, Joe, once you do an interview with me, like it or not.
What?
You're now my trading warrior, brother.
I love it. Thank you.
Pleasure. And I'd love to have you back too. I like your clean, simple. I'm a believer in Forrest Gump type of analysis too. Simple can still be powerful.
Yeah, well, simple is always better. Less is more, and I think that's what a lot of beginners, when I first started out, it was like, 100 indicators. I had 15 moving averages on the chart. It was just crazy where you can't even see price. It was like, that's what they teach you, and you go to all these YouTube videos. Everybody has
not me. I teach a lot of RSI stuff, and 3 drive formations, and I'm a big believer of where did you learn 3 drive formations from?
Just from researching different patterns and technical analysis. Okay. I've read a million books and like I said, YouTube videos, and if I like simple, so if I could find something that like, I can remember that, that's
Yeah,
great.
I learned it in the '70s from a guy named J.R. Hill. So I've been that pattern has really helped me and other people and like you said, if you're just patient and you wait for those,
Right.
you do quite well. It's the impatience of thinking you have to do something every day, and just like Tom Petty said, bro, the waiting is the hardest part.
It is, and I preach that all. Oh, there goes the bell.
All right.
I preach that all the time because that's another big thing to learn that we don't know as beginners that you think that the minute you enter your price has to go up, and I'm like, no, sometimes it's going to go the other way on you, and in fact my method is when I enter a trade I assume I'm wrong, and I only dip a toe in, and then as price moves against me, as it usually does, sometimes I'm lucky, it goes right up. A lot of
Yeah.
times it doesn't. And I layer in. So I manage my
Okay.
risk by
You
dollar
scale.
cost averaging. Yeah, by scaling
Yeah.
in, and it's worked very well for me. But I think it goes against the grain of what everyone is taught when they're beginning.
Yeah.
They're
Don't
like,
add to a loser.
correct, and
Instead
that's
of build a position, still have where you're
100%,
wrong, and you have to
100%,
throw in the towel. Yeah.
100%.
So it sounds like you and I are kindred spirits. I appreciate the time today, Joe. Nice presentation.
Thank you for having me.
And I'll get a hold of you on Twitter, and we'll book another date.
Yeah,
In December.
anytime.
I'm scheduling for December now. Okay.
Anytime, and anybody wants to try the Vlog Squad, they can go to my profile. It's right there. I have a 30-day, $30 trial period, and
Okay.
if they're interested in learning more, I'm
And
more than
if
happy to
they
help.
misbehave in your room, you arrest them.
No, I just throw them right out.
Yeah, that's right. I
We have
figured.
zero tolerance here.
All right, Joe. It's been a pleasure,
All
buddy.
right, my friend. Same here, Dale. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
having me. All right.
All right,
Bye.
everyone. That's a wrap. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. We'll see everyone tomorrow. You're very welcome, everyone. Adios.